Much. Time to talk money as you take a look at the numbers on Wall Street today. Down day, but after 4 straight day gains, I think we can take it. 3 major exchanges all in the red, but we have tomorrow to see how the week finishes up. But right now it's Thursday, which means we're getting out of business with this man right here, Cosmo Macero of O'Neill and Associates. Joins us from our Beacon Hill studio every Thursday. And first up, some breaking news. Cosmo, we've got Twitter in the process of filing for an IPO, an initial public offering, meaning people who like to use Twitter may want to invest in it.
Yeah, Twitter might be worth $10 billion. Not a lot much more you can find out, though, because they're filing for this public offering under a new law. They'll file their S-1 form with the SEC confidentially. It's designed to avoid the hyper-speculation that led to that fiasco about a year ago with the Facebook IPO. Right. Of course, Facebook has finally, a year later, fully recovered. But by doing this, they can avoid that speculation. Obviously, a very attractive offering. A lot of people relying on that Twitter platform. They have millions and millions of users. Should be very interesting.
Should be interesting, too, how they try to design this so they can get advertising involved and make money.
It's all about using that audience to develop advertising platforms and generate revenue. I think a lot of people expect that Twitter will be able to figure that out because of the tremendous audience they have, because of all the users they have in all walks of life.
All right, let's move on to something else that's been getting a lot of buzz lately, and that is who's going to be the next Fed chairman? Who's going to succeed Ben Bernanke? Now you have Janet Yellen, that's his number 2, if you will, and she's wanted by a lot of people. 350 economists sent a letter to the president saying she's the person for the job. You had Senator Warren and a number of other people in politics saying she's the person for the job. Yet you have Larry Summers, former Harvard president, former advisor to the Obama administration, also there. Bottom line is this is a very important position for people and people watching at home. The Fed chairman determines the rates, how much you pay for a house, how much you pay for a car, and things like that. Very important. Some say more important at times than the president.
Sure is. You know, Yellen notably, in some ways, predicted, like some others did, but predicted the big real estate bubble before it happens. People are pointing to that and on other accomplishments she has. You're absolutely right, Mark, though. This is a very important position. It absolutely dictates in many ways our financial lives, the rates we pay, what it's going to cost us for a mortgage or other loans, controlling federal cash policy. So it really is very, very important. Probably one of the top 3 or 4 most powerful people in the country.
Yeah, 2-horse race it appears right now with Larry Summers in the last few weeks seemingly having the advantage at this point.
Well, he's got that inside track as a former economic policy advisor, but there's this tremendous groundswell for Janet Yellen that's been pretty remarkable to see.
Hopefully we'll see that in the next few weeks. I know Syria has gotten in the way of a decision. They've had to postpone it, and we've been keeping people abreast of the situation. So now we're up to date with that. How about 128? You've been driving down there for years. You drive by the old Polaroid building, you see it's vacant. No more land cameras being produced over there. And now they put it in development, get all the construction up and running, and then they pull the plug. Tell people why. Yeah,
it's this is actually related to the Demoulas dispute.
Yes.
The market basket that's supposed to go there is the anchor tenant. Well, that got hung up in the Arthur T. versus Arthur S. dispute. When the anchor tenant gets hung up, guess what? The whole project, the whole mixed-use project gets hung up. Not good news for Waltham. And you're right, you've been driving by there on 128 for years. You've seen progressively the work happening, the demolition, and things coming. Well, the city of Waltham really wants that to happen, and important for their tax base, not to mention for the region, and it's hung up because of this dispute.
Exactly right. They want to see this finished, completed, and the 3,500 people who go to Burlington to shop at Market Basket will stay in Waltham instead, according to their mayor. So that's business and income they can have into their city right there. And finally, Intel, and this is a business that's going to be taking their company and moving out down in Hudson. 700 jobs, and the company's going to close. And it's really about the rapidity of technology, the rapidly growing technological platforms out there, isn't it?
It really is. The chips they make there are pretty much outmoded. They're going to be building up stock of those things for small electronics. The top-notch or the high-end Intel chips, the most modern ones, are made elsewhere. And the equipment in the factory is also outmoded. By about 10 or 12 years, it's just obsolete, and that's unfortunately the way it goes in that sector of the economy as well as others. 700 jobs. It won't impact 850 R&D, research and development jobs in the same there also, but it will certainly impact these manufacturing positions.
Yeah, certainly in that business. It's supposed to shut down that particular facility by the end of 2014. Cosmo Macero, great talking business with you on a Thursday. Thanks.
All right, Mark, thank you.